everyone, welcome to Barca News and welcome to the post-match live analysis. My name is Mo and today we're gonna be talking about the draw that we just witnessed between Newcastle and FC Barcelona, 1-1 at St. James, an away match for Barcelona with an incredibly underwhelming performance. My God, what did we just watch? What did we just watch? Because that was horrendous. Horrendous performance by Barcelona, but more importantly, an incredibly disappointing performance by Barcelona because I expected more. After all, this is the knockout stages of the Champions League. Did Flick forget to tell the players that this was the knockout stages of the Champions League? Did they think this was the Joan Gamper Trophy match or a preseason match in a tour around England or something? Because that was, my God, what did we just watch? Holy crap. Now, on paper, technically this is a good result, right? You see, okay, you got to draw 1-1 in a knockout stage of the Champions League in an away match with the second leg being at home. On paper, you would think this is a great result, right? Means, hey, we still have the second leg at the Camp Nou where we should be able to pull a victory. But my goodness, you watch the actual match and you think, are these players aware that they're playing in the Champions League? Because this was an incredibly underwhelming performance by Barcelona with zero energy, zero intensity, and zero everything. Ambition, desire to win them. My goodness, I could not believe I was watching this. I could not believe this was a Champions League match. I mean, this was the same thing as what we did against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Another underwhelming performance where, thanks to one individual play by Lamine Yamal, we ended up winning. Now, against Athletic Club de Bilbao, people said, well, Mo, the team is tired because they had just played against Atletico Madrid. But I'm sorry, that's not an excuse. Because we're in the last stretch of La Liga where, guess what? Everybody's tired. I mean, what do you think these other teams are doing? Just taking naps and playing once a month? Everybody is tired. So I'm sorry, but that's not an excuse. In fact, Athletic Club de Bilbao had played their semifinal in the Copa del Rey a day after us. So they had one less day of rest, and yet against us, they came out swinging. And we did it. Now, I'm not expecting Barcelona to come out and play against Athletic Club de Bilbao the same way they played against Atletico Madrid. Of course not. Different circumstances, right? We're talking about against Atletico Madrid, it's a semifinal of a Copa del Rey. You're down 4 goals. Of course, you're going to come out pedal to the metal. But against Athletic Club de Bilbao, my God, I expected at least a little bit more. But no, the team gave us an underwhelming performance. And again, people try to blame exhaustion, which it's not an excuse. It's not a valid excuse. All teams are exhausted at this point of the season. But okay, fine. Let's blame that underwhelming performance against Athletic Club to exhaustion. What's the excuse today? What, we're still exhausted from Atletico Madrid? I mean, what, are we just going to be exhausted until the end of the season because of Atletico Madrid? I mean, again, what do you think Newcastle's doing? They are also playing a match every few days. I mean, my goodness, what I saw today was mind-blowing because if this team thinks they can win the Champions League with these kind of performances, I can't even see us getting past the round of 16. And yes, that might be a little bit hyperbolic, but Newcastle had us against the rope the entire 90 minutes. The only reason we pulled a draw is because they were too dumb and they couldn't manage the match, and they gave us a penalty in the last second of the match. I mean, that's incredibly stupid on behalf of Newcastle. By the way, if I was a Newcastle fan right now, I'd be fuming. But I didn't see a Barcelona capable of beating Newcastle. Did you guys see a Barcelona capable of beating Newcastle? Because I didn't. I mean, let's hope the second leg is a different story because, wow, I cannot believe I'm still incredulous thinking that I actually just saw this team perform this way in a Champions League match against Newcastle. Let's not forget, Newcastle are sitting 12th in the Premier League. We are at the top of our La Liga table. Theoretically speaking, this should not have been a draw. This should have been an easy win for Barcelona because we're playing against an inferior team, both on paper and in real life because we have better players. And yet we barely pull a draw by by luck. This was a lucky draw. We did not deserve to win. This was an incredibly lucky draw. Now, the silver lining is that today I saw a very solid defense by Barcelona. Usually we talk about how Barcelona cannot go far, are not going to go far, or cannot aspire to win the Champions League with the way how they defend because they could see too many goals. Today I saw the opposite. Today I saw a team that there's no way they're going to make it far in the Champions League with that kind of attack that we had, because today's Barcelona attack was absolutely pathetic. And it's actually our defense that saved us today. And I'm sorry, but this summer, we gotta need to clean house. Robert Lewandowski, I love you, man. I love Lewandowski, one of my favorite strikers since I started watching football. But he cannot continue. We're gonna forever be thankful to Lewandowski for what he did. He came during an incredibly difficult time at the club. He could have stayed at Bayern, winning trophies, coasting, but instead he came to Barcelona. He gave us 3 incredible seasons. He helped us win 2 La Ligas, 2 Spanish Super Cups, a Copa del Rey. We can even tack in this season's Spanish Super Cup, so 3 Spanish. 3? No, 2, 2 and 1. But it's time to go. And I know Laporta has been going around in his campaign saying we should renew Lewandowski for 1 more season, but I'm sorry, I don't see it. Age has caught up with him. He will forever be one of the greatest strikers of our generation, but age catches up to all of us, and it's time for Lewy to leave. Ferran Torres, the guy comes onto the field, and the first ball he touches, he trips on the ball and falls. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, it's like watching, when you see little kids like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they're learning how to play, and the ball is almost as big as them, and they try to kick it, and they trip, and they fall. That was Ferran Torres on the field. I mean, my God, what are we doing? 30 million euros for Rashford? Are you guys still convinced that Rashford is worth 30 million euros? And don't give me the crap about, Luis Diaz is 70 and this other guy is 90. I don't care, bro. Rashford is not worth 30 million euros. The guy can't even send a cross. Did you guys see that cross that he said during the second half? That shit went flying. Like, bro, a cross. And he had nobody on him. It's not like someone was like pressuring him, bodying him, and that's why he sends the cross. The guy can't even send the cross without any pressure. I would tell me Rashford is worth 30 mil. Also, Araujo. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. He confessed that he was suffering from depression and anxiety, and he went on his spiritual retreat, and he took all that time off, and the guy makes a run and doesn't even have the energy to run back. So he sits on the ground and starts butt scooting to get back onto the field. The ref doesn't buy it. It's like, get the fuck out. So by the time he runs back to his position, Newcastle scores because, of course, he left the entire flank exposed. Are you kidding me? Is this seriously what we're talking about? Araujo? Bro, do you seriously think that is worthy of a Barcelona player? Captain, not even player, captain. You had to butt scoot because you couldn't run back and you left your entire flank exposed? My God, what are we seeing, man? We need a clean house ASAP. We need a clean house ASAP. And Coutinho, by the way, what is happening with Coutinho, man? We need the Coutinho from last season. And I don't mean performance-wise because he has given us Coutinho performances this season, but he's been so inconsistent this season. I don't know what's happening. And, I kind of said this towards the end of the season. I said, I don't know if we just saw the best season of Rafinha ever and that's it because, up until that last season, Rafinha was always an average player, right? Whether at Leeds United or whether the 2 seasons under Xabi or whether when he was in the French league, I forgot what team he was with. And it wasn't until last season he really gave us, a world-class performance. And I was like, I hope that's not the last that we're going to see of this because, there was no data-wise, there's no way to back the fact that he might give us another season, right? Because if you are 28 and for the last 10 years, you've been giving average performance and all of a sudden you give one, you have more reason to believe that it's a one-time thing. Now, this season, he has given us Coutinho-like performances, but he also has given us a lot of Rafinha-like performances. And I don't know what's happening with Rafinha. Let's hope he can find himself and continue to give us Coutinho-like performances for the end of the season because we're going to need them, man. Because if we can't count on Rashford, who can't even send a cross, and we cannot count on Lewy or Ferran, Lamine Yamal cannot be the only guy carrying our attack. So Coutinho, please, bro, I need you to replicate the last season during this last stretch, okay? Because we're going to need you. We're going to need you. But anyways, let's recap real quick the match because, my goodness, I can't believe what I just saw. But let's look at the lineup that Hansi Flick chose for today because we did have some changes. Of course, we have Juan Garcia, who had a phenomenal match today. In goal, we had Ronald Araujo and Cancelo as our fullbacks. I was a little bit surprised when I saw this because when the club announced the lineup, they don't tell you what player is playing in which position. They just give you the name of the players. I thought it would be Pau Cubarsí and Araujo as our two center backs, with Cancelo playing on the right and Gerard Maldini playing on the left. But instead, it was Cancelo, our left fullback, and Araujo as our right fullback. Gerard Maldini and Cubarsí as our two center backs. We saw Bernal and Pedri in the double pivot, which I think that's going to be the starting double pivot in the future. I just do not see Frankie de Jong, honestly, benching Bernal. I think Bernal is... this boy has a bright future. He is the future of Barcelona's midfield alongside Pedri. And of course, our in front of him, it's Lamine Yamal and Rafinha on the wings, with Fermin Lopez as our attacking mid and Robert Lewandowski as our center forward. Now, to recap real quick about what happened in the match, the first 20 minutes, it was all Newcastle. They brought all the energy. They brought all the physicality. It was just a one-sided match for the first 20 minutes of the first half, with Newcastle just generating attack after attack after attack. And this is when I say Barcelona's defense really shined today. We had some offside traps that caught a couple of close calls. We had Juan Garcia, who was absolutely phenomenal with his saves. And then after the first 20 minutes, it kind of balanced out a little bit, where it wasn't as much as one-sided. It was still Newcastle more than Barca, but it wasn't as one-sided. And this is, again, when Barcelona continued to shine defensively, but attack-wise, it was an absolute disaster. There was no rhythm, no momentum. Our attack was just dead in the water. The only two chances that we had the entire first half is when Dan Burn almost scored an own goal, and then Fermin Lopez when he took that shot, and that was about it. That was about it. Now, towards the end of the first half, it became a lot of back and forth with lots of transitions between, one time Barcelona would attack, then Newcastle would attack back and forth, back and forth. But honestly, both sides, lots of transitions, but not really actual quality from any of the teams. Now, first half ends, second half begins. And the second half, it was kind of like the same story because the first 25 minutes, same thing. It was Newcastle. It was a one-sided match with Newcastle generated on the danger. The only chance that we really had during the first 25 minutes of the second half was that pass from Rafinha to Lewandowski, who I cannot believe he missed that chance. 9 out of 10, he usually makes those, but he did. And then, of course, came Anthony Gordon, who completely became a menace. He was just destroying us, beating our offside trap every time he got the chance. Hansi Flick was forced to make two substitutions, which was to take out Pedri and Bernal because the two of them were exhausted. And that's pretty much when we lost our midfield. Our midfield went to shit. And if Newcastle was already able to consistently attack us before, now they were attacking us even more. And then that's of course, when Newcastle goal came, with Ronald Araujo doing that whole butt scoot. It's like, I don't have energy to run back, so I'm just going to butt scoot back onto the field. It's like, what am I watching? I was like, I swear to God, am I watching bloopers of a freaking movie about a football match? And he scoots back. The referee's like, I don't think so. So he leaves his whole flank exposed. Rafinha gets caught sleeping. Newcastle, when I forgot his name, the attacker who scores the goal, that was Rafinha's mark, and Rafinha's just caught sleeping on another planet. Absolute disaster, absolute disaster. And then finally, Dani Olmo comes in. He makes that run. He gets fouled in the box. And then, of course, we get the penalty kick, which Lamine Yamal did score with some ice in his veins. The way an 18-year-old kid can take that pressure. You're talking about a knockout stage, the Champions League, added time, a penalty. This is the last play of the match. This is it. This is make it or break it. You're at an away stadium at St. James where, my God, the crowd were just on fire the entire 90 minutes. And then he just puts it away with cold-blooded and then pretty much saves us because that was an embarrassing performance. That was an incredibly embarrassing performance. But again, silver lining, I think our defense really, they were really great today. The way they were able to take all the pummeling, Cubarsí, Gerard Maldini, those two shine today. And, to think that our defense was pretty much lacking three starters, right? Kunde and Balde are injured. Eric Garcia gets injured last second. We're talking about the only starter was Pau Cuarci and three substitutes, and yet our defense, they took it like champs. Juan Garcia was absolutely phenomenal. This is the difference between, world-class goalkeeper and not so much. We talked about how Real Madrid won so many trophies thanks to Courtois, because Courtois would save everything, and so the other team would not be able to score. And then one individual play Madrid would have, they would score a goal, and boom, match over, right? This is pretty much what happened today. It was Juan Garcia at our defense just taking all the pummeling, and Lamine Yamal in one individual play, which is a penalty, he scores, and then bam. In this case, we have a draw, but at least we're still alive, right? We go to the Camp Nou from square one. So incredibly underwhelming performance by Barcelona. I really hope they do something about this, because if they hope to win the Champions League, or at least to make it to semifinal, because given that bracket, we should be able to make it to semifinal, right? Newcastle is an inferior team to Barcelona. Atletico Madrid, we've seen that we can beat them if this team actually does their job. We should at least make it to semifinal, but if the team plays like this again, I don't even see us getting past Newcastle in the second leg. So very, very, very disappointed. Again, on paper, yes, I should be happy. A draw in an away match with the second leg being at home, yes, it is a good result, but not for Barca. I'm sorry, but this match should have been a match that Barcelona should have won, because we're talking about the first team in La Liga versus the 12th team in the Premier League. No excuses, but it is what it is. Anyways, that's all I had to say about today's match. Let's do some comments, and then we'll end this. And then I gotta do a video. And we do have a donation. Rarel. Did I say that right? Rarel. Yeah, I think I said that right. Thank you, my friend, so much for your donation. Rarel says, Prem physicality and pace is real. We couldn't keep up. I don't even think we couldn't keep up because the Newcastle was just that superior. I think we just couldn't keep up because this team was just not. They were just asleep at the wheel, man. It's like, but yeah, you are right about the physicality. Those Newcastle players, they look like freaking giants next to ours. They look so big, man. It's crazy. I actually texted my friends when I was watching the match. I was like, yo, these Newcastle players look fucking huge. What the hell do they feed them in England? My goodness. But thank you, my friends, for your donation. Biska Michael says, yo, Mo, I'm going to be able to go to the Newcastle game at the Camp Nou. Have you bought tickets from a third-party site like StubHub? I'm not associated because I live near New York City. I don't normally go to Spain. I've never used StubHub for Barca tickets. No. I always, buy them through, since I am a associate, I buy them through, the portal. Or if it's the Peña trip, it's usually, the president of the Peña who handles the tickets for everybody. We just send him the cash and he buys everyone's tickets. So, no, I have not used StubHub. Sorry, I can't help you there. Ahmad says, anyone that blames Flick for this is an idiot. Sorry, but he's really tried to do what he can. He's a competent board. Praise him for being able to let us compete. This board is truly shameless. I don't know if anyone's blaming Flick. At least I haven't seen it. But, shit, that was bad. Herbert says, yes, but the performance was shit. Yes, indeed, my friend. Yes, indeed. P4K Chema says, Mo, this team was disappointing, and don't get me started on Araujo. First, he drags his ass on the floor like a dog. It really was. It's like when the dogs want to scratch their butt, and they just their legs like this, and they just start dragging their ass across the carpet. My God, bro. What did we just watch today? Honestly, I don't know if to be mad, if to be disappointed, to laugh. My goodness. And then proceeds to stand outside the box and watch the defender header all alone. Araujo needs to go. Ferran needs to go. Rashford, we cannot sign Rashford. I'm sorry, but he's not worth 30 mil. Lewy, I love you, bro, but it's time. It's time you hang your boots. Or maybe not hang your boots, but maybe it's time for, I don't know, something like the MLS or Saudi League or J League or whatever. But we need a clean house. Lamine cannot be carrying the defense, the offense on himself. He just can't. He just can't. We need better. We need better. Blarana X says, oh, real quick, Blarana X, I'll come back to your comment. I forgot to mention. Did you guys see Xavi Spart? He played like 30 seconds, but I like what I saw. I liked what I saw. I mean, and especially if you put it into context, he comes in, Champions League, knockout stages, an away match in a crazy stadium where the fans are just like right there on top of you. You're down 1-0, and the guy performed. Again, it was only a few minutes, so take that with a grain of salt. But I like what I saw. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Laurana X says, hey, Mo, as far as this mango jersey, why is there a white blocked and the worn today blue block? Do you know? Yes. So the kit is supposed to be with the blue. But in La Liga, you know, they have the system that chooses the color schemes and whether it clashes with other shirts. In La Liga, they have to change it because it does clash with other shirts. I don't know how that software works. Sometimes it's like, wow. That's why, for example, we used the green kit at the beginning of the season because our only two available kits at the time, which was the home and the away, was clashing with everyone else's. So that's why they were using the green one. I don't know how that software works because sometimes I was like, how is this bright green clashing with white? I don't know, but apparently it does. So David says, we know we kept put intensity in all matches, but today's match was so poor. The final third was worst. Defense was better. Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, look, I'm not saying Barcelona should play every match like they did against Atletico Madrid. Of course not. Of course not, because that's not sustainable. You play like that every match, all your players are going to end up on the injury list. But here's the thing. Not all matches are going to require you to play like that. But shit, also, don't play like you played today. I mean, again, there's like, you know, it's like when I said against Athletic Club, I was like, what was that? Like, that was so low in intensity. It was pretty crazy. And someone was like, wow, you can't expect Barcelona to play like they did against Atletico Madrid. No, of course not. I'm not saying that. It's like, guys, this is not mutually exclusive. You know, there's not the only two options. Your only two options are not balls to the walls like against Atletico Madrid or fucking half asleep. There's a lot in between. There's a lot in between. You know, you don't have to do or this or this. There's a lot in between, right? But I don't know. I guess a lot of people just have a two-track mind where it's either A or B. It's either black or white. It's like, no, bro, there's a lot of gray. Barca Got Culture says, Mo, I don't understand why everyone blames Araujo when the guy is cramping up and Rafinha go in position and just did anything. They're both at fault. Araujo should have been able to run back to his position. I mean, he cannot blame it on exhaustion. I mean, this guy hasn't been playing, hasn't been starting. He's been, you know. But yeah, Rafinha's also at fault because Rafinha completely falls asleep. I mean, the guy is like, ooh. You know, if he was a cartoon, he would have the little birds circling his head. Ah, my goodness. My goodness. Bardinho FC says he needs service, more opportunities. We need a world-class striker. We do. We definitely do. Alexi says it was a bad player, but come on, man. It was one play. The rest of the game, Araujo was on point. Where was Rafinha during that play? He was marking the attacker and didn't even move. Look, I'm not saying Araujo did not have a good match. I'm saying that mistake alone, leaving your whole flank exposed in a knockout match of a Champions League, that's serious. That's serious. And you know, yes, all players make mistakes, but some mistakes weigh a lot more than others, especially when this one cost us a goal. And yes, you're right. Rafinha's also at fault for that goal. Rafinha fell asleep. I'm not absolving Rafinha and saying Araujo's completely at fault. But Araujo cannot be doing that, especially when he has come from so many other Champions League mistakes, right? It all plays into a context, right? This doesn't happen in a vacuum where it's just like, oh, it's just a mistake. No. We're talking about a mistake in a Champions League, in a knockout stage that results in a goal in the third season in a row. Because the one before he gets red carded. So it's like you're building on it, right? You're building on your wall of failures, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, no, I'm not absolving Coutinho. I mean, Rafinha, bro, just watch the replay. I mean, this fucking guy is just like asleep. Like, bring him a mattress and a pillow. Gabriel says, hey, Mo, I often enjoy most of your analysis, but your assertions that Mark Bernal is better than Frankie is laughable. We'll see, bro. We'll see. We'll see how laughable he is or this is. Remember, that who laughs last. Anyways. GS Act says, I've noticed some of our players are not as good in big games as last season. And Yugan says, I think we should be honest with ourselves. We are not winning Champions League like this, at least with this defense. What? Bro, today, the best part of this game was the defense. If anything, after today's match, I would say we're not going to win the Champions League with this offense. But today, our defense was superb. I don't know what game you watched, but our defense was incredible today. I mean, Gerard Maldini and Cubarsí and Joan Garcia, they're amazing. But, yeah, no, I don't see us winning the Champions League. But we should at least make it to semi. Like, did you guys see Bayern? Bayern freaking demolished Atalanta 6-1 in Italy. I mean, Arsenal, I can't see us getting past either of those two. But, yeah. But no, our defense was not the problem today, my friend. Lucius says, not blaming the highline, but why is our defense playing keep away all game and our players either just stand in position, don't bother make a run, or make themselves open? That's a good question. That's a good question. Lorenzo, exactly why Barcelona fans need to stop taking De Jong for granted or nothing without him, and Pedri, Bernal, and others are far way better from class. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he has appeared. Let's go. All right. If you guys don't know the backdrop, this guy's always talking crap about Dani Olmo. I mean, he's obsessed, right? He's obsessed. He's like every comment is Dani Olmo, Dani Olmo, Dani Olmo. For the last 4 or 5 weeks, he's been like, he's gone quiet, right? He's completely disappeared off the map of the earth because, of course, Olmo has been, showing his true colors that he's an inconsistent player. But look, he's back. He's back. Let's all give him a wait. Hold on. Hey, he's back. He says, "Hey, booty liquor of culés." Whatever that means. I mean, aren't you a booty liquor of Dani Olmo? But anyways, what's your opinion on Dani Olmo's action getting the penalty for Barca? What, am I supposed to applaud that he got fouled in a box and gave us a penalty? My God. Oh, God. This guy, man. My goodness. A condom could have saved us from this comment. Remember that, kids. Don't have unprotected sex. Things like this could happen. Right? This guy is a perfect example on why abortion should be illegal. He seriously applauded that Dani Olmo got fouled in the penalty box. God bless you, bro. God bless you. Life must be tough. Must be tough when you got 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for 3rd place. Life must be tough. Jose Fernandez says, hey, Bo, Araujo's clownish game, wasting time, give us clownish results, not getting back in time for defense on Newcastle's goal. Yeah, man. Yeah. Alexis says, any news on what happened to Eric? Yeah, Eric apparently felt some discomfort during training. Obviously, we're not going to know too much now. We'll know more tomorrow because, as you know, medical exams are usually done the next day. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of reports about it, but like I always say, I don't like to speculate in regards to injuries on the day of, because even if some of these reports could be end up being true, but I can't say for certain until the following day when the tests are actually done. So, but yeah, he felt discomfort during the warm-up, but right before the match. Dorian says, that was so boring to watch. We better not play like that again in the second leg. Bro, we better not play like that, period. Not just in the second leg. My goodness. And Costa says, I bet money this is Olmo burner account. No, bro. I don't think Olmo would be dumb enough to say the things this guy says. You should go back and just read his comments. Poor guy. Anyways. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be posting another video after this one. News video. Unrelated, obviously, to the match. Just in general. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. And as always, be scars.